We're live. Welcome to the second episode of Sauk Talk. We're here with Portland Thunder head coach Matthew Sauk. We're having him answer your fans' questions. Welcome, Coach.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, let's get into the questions. First question from Jared Timothy Raymer Burlow on Facebook. What do you expect from the Thunder this year as far as the team and fan turnout?
I mean, obviously I think fan turnout, we're expecting a very good turnout. From the reports I get from the front office, the people have really turned out to buy season tickets. You go on our Facebook page and, we've got over 25,000 likes already, which I think is either first or second, I think, in the league. So the fan turnout has been absolutely amazing. Team-wise, really with us being such a young team, we're just, really it's going to be basically a day-by-day type of situation to where, we really want to make sure that we're getting better. With young guys, it's, you don't always have to set a goal that's 6 months down the road. For me, it's a goal that's literally one day at a time. As long as we're getting better, I know that we will be able to compete and do well.
Speaking of goals 6 months down the road, we're gonna go straight to this question. Elias George, I wanted to know, do you think with our current roster that Portland has a chance to make the Arena Bowl?
I think anything can happen. I mean, it's arena football is such a crazy sport that as long as you get guys that play well together, you don't always have to have the most talented team, but if you have guys that play together and you get the bounces, a fact of that would be in 2012 with the Utah Blaze. We weren't the most talented team, but we played well together, and we literally got the bounces. And for whatever reason, every single week we would, in the fourth quarter when we were down or something, we would get a bar ball on a kickoff, and that would separate us from the other team. But anything can happen in arena football, and I think that's really the biggest thing that makes it such a great game, is because of a kickoff could hit a bar, you could recover it for a touchdown, and you could get a safety. I mean, there's just so many things that you can do in the game to really turn the tide in your favor.
Okay, speaking of kickers, Mike J. Davenport 9 on Twitter wants to know, have you picked a kicker yet?
We have. Obviously we won't. The way the arena football works is you don't always sign a kicker for camp. We will have a kicker on waivers who will come in until we make our first cuts. After we make our first cuts, you will definitely see a kicker actually get a contract at that time. But early on we don't really need a kicker. It's not that important. It's more important to get that extra spot for another personnel guy. But yeah, we definitely have our kicker at this point until he proves otherwise.
Okay. You talked a little bit about training camp. Veronica Mensch from Facebook wants to know, why did you only take 3 people from tryouts to camp?
In reality, we actually are going to have probably, if you count our private workout, we actually have closer to 6 guys. So, I count both. In the end, when you look at any other team in this league, I guarantee you they're not bringing, 3 people from an open workout. We really had a good group of guys. It was not easy. But, in the end, we feel that these 3 that we are going to end up bringing into camp really have a good chance of pushing the contract guys for, to maybe even take their contract.
Okay. Bobby Stemmer from Facebook wants to know, what are the strengths of the division opponents, obviously Spokane and San Jose for those that don't know, and what do the Thunder need to do to counteract them?
The strengths of San Jose is obviously the amount of years they have on their roster. They're a team that, it doesn't matter what happens in the first 3 quarters. They just, they play from start to finish, and they've always done that, and I think that's why they've won, many championships. Their coach does a good job of preparing the team. they just, for whatever reason, they always stick around, and they've got a lot of veteran guys. You know, they probably have 2 or 3 rookies, if that, and they keep their vets around, and they win games. You know, with Spokane, they're a team that, you know, last year they finally kept their quarterback healthy, and they got the bounces. You know, I'd almost consider it 2012 with us with Utah. They got a ton of bounces. They played hard, and when you play hard, you get those bounces. But, you know, at the end of it, it's really about keeping your quarterback healthy. And with Eric Meyer healthy, that team can easily win 10 or more games every year just because of how good he is.
Yeah, you didn't address how the Thunder are going to counteract that.
Oh, geez, counteract it, huh? Well, you know, obviously, you know, we have a philosophy. You know, I mean, that's, you always want to have a philosophy when you're bringing in a team or you're putting a team together. And our philosophy is to stop that, obviously. But you're trying to get guys that can counteract, you know, maybe Spokane's speed, or, you know, stop San Jose's, you know, their older age guys, to where, you know, maybe we can be faster than them. You know, where we can be a little bit more youth to their old age. So, you know, I mean, both teams have their strengths, and it's really just, again, it's about us just building our philosophy together, getting our team concept, guys buying in, and then us doing what we need to do. As long as we score on a certain amount of possessions, and we can try and stop them and stop what they do good, which is obviously everyone can throw the ball. But, you know, Spokane does a really good job inside the red zone. I mean, that's really where they do their damage, is with Tennell in the red zone. So if we could take Tennell away, then that's, you know, 2 other guys need to step up. So, you know, I mean, there's a ton of things that we need to do. But really, again, what I want to focus on is we need to make sure that we're getting better. And as long as we're performing well, we will do well against any team in this league.
Great. Evan Taylor from Facebook wants to know, how annoying can LA fans be in the AFL and the NBA?
Well, I'm pretty sure that everyone hates them. So they are probably one of the biggest bandwagon. I mean, I lived in California for about 4 or 5 years. And this was back in, I think, in 94 to like 97 or something, 93, 97. LA is a Showtime type of place where it's just bandwagon after bandwagon. And you go to a Portland team, it's not about bandwagon in Oregon. It's like they support it no matter what. And to me, you know, those fans are annoying. I mean, I'm a Pistons fan, so it's a little bit, you know, hard back in the, you know, last time we did well was in the late 80s. So, you know, like I said, LA fans are, you know, they're a little bit different. They only tend to support when teams do well.
Got it. All right, finally, I have a question for you. NFC Championship game this weekend. We got Seahawks to the north, 49ers to the south of Oregon. Who do you have this weekend, 49ers or Seahawks?
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone, from what I'm reading on Facebook, everyone hates Seattle or the general state of Washington because of the Supersonics or whatever happened in that day. So, and, you know, but reality, Seahawks, I think, have only lost once in the last 2 years or something at home. Their fans are absolutely amazing. You know, but I think it's 49ers time. I almost think it's going to be like the Packers, I think, from three years ago when they won every road game. I think the Niners are going to win every road game and get into the Super Bowl.
All right. I will hope that doesn't happen at the game.
Yeah.
That concludes the question part of our interview. We want to give a special thanks to Robert Quillen and Bill Rauscho. They are our Thunder fans of the week. They have contributed greatly to our fan presence at the games for 2014, even before the season starts. That's it for today, and we'll see you next time on Sauk Talk.